The bustling streets of Manhattan hum with life on a crisp spring morning in 2025. Horns blare, pedestrians weave through crosswalks, and the scent of coffee wafts from corner cafes. Sophie Miller pedals her rickety old bike, dodging taxis with a grin. At 25, she's a barista at Brewhaven, a cozy coffee shop in the heart of the city. With her chestnut hair tied in a messy bun and a backpack slung over one shoulder, she radiates a chaotic charm. Sophie dreams of opening her own bakery, where she can serve cinnamon rolls and lemon tarts to smiling customers. But for now, she's late for work again, her bike wobbling as she races against the clock. Life has been easy for Sophie. Orphaned at 16, she's fought to make her way, relying on her wit and relentless optimism. Yet her clumsiness is legendary, earning her the nickname Disaster Sophie among friends. Today, her luck takes a nosedive. As she swerves to avoid a skateboarder on Fifth Avenue, Sophie slams into a sleek black Rolls-Royce Phantom parked outside a glass skyscraper. The impact sends her tumbling, her bike skidding across the pavement. A deep scratch mars the car's flawless hood, glinting in the sunlight like a taunting scar. Sophie scrambles to her feet, heart pounding, and mutters, "Oh no, this is bad, really bad." The car's door opens and out steps Ethan Hayes, 30, CEO of Hayes Enterprises, a tech empire revolutionizing artificial intelligence. Ethan is all sharp angles and tailored suits, his dark hair neatly combed, his green eyes cold as steel. Hayes, known for his ruthless business tactics and a heart guarded by walls built after a betrayal by his ex-girlfriend years ago. He surveys the damage, then fixes Sophie with a glare that could freeze the Hudson River. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Ethan asks, his voice low and controlled. "This car is worth $3 million, and that scratch will cost at least $50,000 to fix." Sophie pales, her hands trembling. "$50,000? She squeaks. "I don't have that kind of money. I'm just a barista." Ethan raises an eyebrow, unimpressed. "Then you shouldn't be crashing into things you can't afford. Pay up or I'll see you in court." Sophie's mind races. A lawsuit would ruin her. She thinks of her tiny apartment, her savings account with barely enough for rent, and her dream of a bakery slipping further away. Desperate, she blurts, "Can't we work something out? I can pay you back over time. I'm good for it, I swear." Ethan studies her, his gaze lingering on a faint mark peeking from under her sleeve, a star-shaped birthmark on her shoulder. His expression softens for a split second, unnoticed by Sophie. 5 years ago, in a fiery car accident in Brooklyn, a stranger pulled him from a burning wreck, saving his life. All he remembers is a star-shaped birthmark on her shoulder before she vanished into the night. Could this clumsy girl be her? Ethan pushes the thought aside but sees an opportunity. "Fine," he says, crossing his arms. "You'll work for me as a maid at my Upper East Side mansion. I'll pay you $2,500 a month and you can pay off the debt. Work starts tomorrow. Be there, or I call my lawyers." Sophie gapes. "A maid?" she says. "Like scrubbing floors and dusting chandeliers? You've got to be kidding." Ethan's lips twitch, almost a smirk. "Take it or leave it, Disaster Sophie." She narrows her eyes at the nickname, already regretting this. "Fine," she snaps, "but don't expect me to call you sir. You're more like Mr. Arrogant." Ethan chuckles, a rare sound that surprises even him. "We'll see how long that attitude lasts. Get to my place at 8 sharp. He hands her a card with his address and strides back into the skyscraper, leaving Sophie staring at the damaged car, her bike, and her rapidly changing life. The next morning, Sophie arrives at Ethan's mansion, a sprawling estate with marble floors and crystal chandeliers. She clutches a mop, feeling out of place in her jeans and sneakers. Ethan greets her in a crisp suit, looking every bit the billionaire. "Welcome to your new reality," he says, gesturing to a bucket. "Start with the foyer, it's a mess." Sophie rolls her eyes. "Oh, joy, my dream job." She dips the mop and, in her enthusiasm, splashes water across Ethan's polished shoes. He jumps back, glaring. "Watch it," he barks. Sophie grins sheepishly. "Oops, guess I'm still getting the hang of this maid thing." Ethan shakes his head, muttering, "This is going to be a long debt." Their banter is interrupted by a call from Ethan's assistant, Justin. "Sir, we have an update on the search," Justin says. "Still no leads on the girl with the star-shaped birthmark from the Brooklyn accident." Ethan glances at Sophie, who's scrubbing a spot with exaggerated focus, unaware of the conversation. "Keep looking," he orders quietly. "I want her found." Hanging up, he watches Sophie, his mind churning. She can't be the one, he thinks. She's too chaotic, too infuriating, yet something about her draws him in, a spark he can't explain. As Sophie tackles a chandelier, she mutters to herself, $50,000 for a scratch? This guy must bathe in gold. She slips, nearly dropping a crystal piece, and Ethan catches it just in time, their hands brushing. For a moment their eyes lock, and Sophie feels a jolt she can't name. Ethan pulls away, clearing his throat. "Try not to destroy my house," he says gruffly. Sophie sticks out her tongue when he turns, but her heart races. What is it about this guy, she wonders? As insufferable, but there's something else. Something I can't figure out. Back at Brewhaven that evening, Sophie vents to her coworker, Mia. "He's the worst, Mia. All high and mighty like some peasant." Mia laughs. "Sounds like you've met your match. Maybe Hez not so bad." Sophie scoffs. "Yeah, right. Hez Mr. Arrogant and just his maid." But as she pedals home through the neon-lit streets, she can't shake the memory of Ethan's gaze, or the strange feeling that this job is about to change everything. Meanwhile, in his penthouse office, Ethan stares at a photo of the Brooklyn accident, his fingers tracing the memory of that night. The girl who saved him risked everything and asked for nothing. He spent 5 years searching, hiring investigators, chasing leads. Could Sophie, with her messy bun and fearless attitude, be the one? He shakes his head, dismissing the idea. She's just a clumsy barista, he tells himself. But deep down he knows Hez not so sure. As the city sparkles below, Ethan makes a decision. He'll keep Sophie close, test her, and uncover the truth, no matter what it takes. Sophie Miller stands in the grand foyer of Ethan Hayes' Upper East Side mansion, a feather duster in one hand and a scowl on her face. It's been a week since she became his maid to pay off the $50,000 debt for scratching his Rolls-Royce. The mansion is a maze of polished marble, towering windows, and antique furniture that looks like it belongs in a museum. Sophie, in her faded jeans and a Brewhaven t-shirt, feels like an intruder in this world of wealth. She mutters to herself, "If I have to dust one more chandelier, I'm going to scream." Ethan, impeccably dressed in a navy suit, descends the spiral staircase, his green eyes scanning her work. "Not bad, Disaster Sophie," he says, a hint of amusement in his voice. "But you missed a spot on the mirror." Sophie spins around, brandishing the duster like a sword. "Oh, Mr. Arrogant, if you're such a cleaning expert, why don't you do it yourself?" Ethan smirks, leaning against the banister. "Because I pay you to do it. Now get to work." Their banter has become a daily ritual, a dance of sharp words and stolen glances. Sophie tackles her tasks with determination, refusing to let Ethan's high standards intimidate her. She scrubs floors, folds linens, and even attempts to organize his chaotic kitchen, all while dreaming of her future bakery. But Ethan seems to delight in testing her limits. Today he hands her a list longer than a CVS receipt. "I need the guest rooms cleaned, the silver polished, and breakfast ready by 9, he says, his tone clipped. Sophie raises an eyebrow. "What, no request to repaint the house while I'm at it?" Ethan's lips twitch, but he turns away before she can see his smile. "Don't tempt me," he calls over his shoulder. As Sophie wrestles with a stubborn stain on a Persian rug, the doorbell chimes. She opens the door to find Liam Parker, her best friend since high school. At 27, Liam is a rising interior designer with a warm smile and tousled blonde hair. He hugs her tightly, nearly knocking the duster from her hand. "Ugh, Sophie," he exclaims. "I heard about your new gig, Maid to a Billionaire." "Spill the tea." Sophie groans, pulling him inside. "It's a nightmare, Liam. Ethan Hayes is insufferable. He thinks he's king of the world." Liam chuckles, glancing around the opulent foyer. Well, he kind of is, but you're tougher than him. Remember how you saved my butt last year? Sophie sighs, her expression softening. Yeah, I couldn't let you marry that snake. Liam's face darkens at the mention of Olivia Bennett, his former fiancée. A year ago, Sophie helped him uncover Olivia's true colors, a scheming influencer who faked an illness to trap him into marriage. The fallout was messy, and Olivia has held a grudge against Sophie ever since. Liam squeezes her shoulder. You're my hero, Soph. But be careful. Olivia's been sniffing around, and she's not happy you're working for Ethan Hayes. Sophie shrugs, unfazed. Let her try. I've got bigger problems, like not breaking Ethan's priceless junk. Their conversation is cut short when Ethan enters, his presence commanding the room. Liam Parker, he says, nodding curtly. What brings you here? Liam grins, unfazed by Ethan's frostiness. Just checking on my girl Sophie. She's not used to your fancy world. Ethan's jaw tightens at my girl, and Sophie notices a flicker of something in his eyes. Jealousy? No way, she thinks, dismissing it. I'm fine, Liam, she says, shooing him toward the door. Go design some fabulous curtains. I've got floors to mop. Liam laughs, promising to catch up soon, but Ethan's gaze lingers on Sophie, unreadable. Later that afternoon, Sophie is in the dining room polishing a silver candelabra when she hears footsteps. Expecting Ethan, she's surprised to see a younger man with Ethan's sharp cheekbones but a brighter smile. Noah Hayes, Ethan's 22-year-old brother, is a college senior studying architecture. His dark hair falls into his eyes, and his easy charm instantly puts Sophie at ease. Hey, you must be the famous Maid, Noah says, leaning against the table. I'm Noah. Nice to meet someone who can handle my brother's grumpy side. Sophie laughs, setting down the candelabra. Famous, more like infamous. I'm Sophie, and your brother's a tyrant. Noah winks. Oh, I like you already. Want to team up and prank him? Sophie grins, tempted, but shakes her head. I'd rather keep my job, thanks. Noah's visits become a highlight of Sophie's days. He drops by with coffee, tells her stories about college, and even helps her fold laundry when Ethan's not looking. Sophie enjoys his company, treating him like a younger brother, but Ethan grows visibly irritated. One evening, as Sophie serves Ethan dinner, he snaps, Why is Noah here all the time? Is he your new best friend? Sophie blinks, caught off guard. He's just being nice. Unlike some people, Ethan scoffs, stabbing his steak. Just focus on your work, not flirting with my brother. Sophie's cheeks flush. Flirting? You're delusional, Mr. Arrogant. She storms off, leaving Ethan staring at his plate, frustrated with himself. The tension escalates at a charity auction Ethan hosts at the mansion. Sophie, still in her maid uniform, is tasked with serving drinks to New York's elite. She feels out of place among the glittering gowns and tuxedos, her confidence shaken. Then Olivia Bennett sweeps in, her designer dress sparkling under the chandeliers. At 26, Olivia is an Instagram star with 1 million followers, her blonde hair and perfect smile masking a calculating mind. She spots Sophie and smirks, sauntering over with a glass of champagne. Well, well, she says loudly, drawing eyes. The barista-turned-gold digger, serving drinks for Ethan Hayes? How pathetic! Sophie clenches her tray, forcing a smile. Better than faking illnesses to trap men, Olivia. The crowd murmurs, and Olivia's face reddens. You'll regret that, she hisses, before flouncing away. Sophie's heart sinks as whispers spread. She overhears a guest say, Is that the maid trying to snag the CEO? Humiliated, she retreats to the kitchen, fighting tears. Ethan, who witnessed the exchange, follows her. What happened? He demands. Sophie shakes her head. Nothing. Just Olivia being her charming self. Ethan's eyes narrow. She called you a gold digger? Sophie laughs bitterly. Yeah, and everyone believes her. I don't belong here, Ethan. I'm just your maid. For a moment, Ethan's guard drops, his voice softening. You're more than that, Sophie. Don't let her get to you. Sophie looks up, surprised by his sincerity, but before she can respond, he walks away, leaving her confused and oddly warmed. That night, as Sophie cleans the library, she accidentally knocks over a vase. Panicked, she catches it, but a crack appears. "Oh no," she groans. "This probably costs more than my rent." Ethan appears in the doorway, eyebrow raised. Another casualty? Sophie braces for a lecture, but instead she blurts, "I'll bake you cookies to make up for it." Ethan pauses, then says, "Fine, but they better be good." Relieved, Sophie spends the next morning baking chocolate chip cookies, her secret weapon. When Ethan tries one, his stern facade cracks. "These are actually decent," he admits. Sophie beams. High praise from Mr. Arrogant. Their eyes meet, and for a fleeting moment, the air crackles with something new. The moment is broken when Ethan's assistant, Justin, calls. "Sir, no new leads on the Brooklyn girl," he reports. Ethan glances at Sophie, who's dusting a shelf, her sleeves slipping to reveal the star-shaped birthmark. His heart skips. It's identical to the one he remembers from that night 5 years ago, when a stranger risked her life for his. But Sophie? This chaotic, stubborn girl? He shakes his head, unwilling to believe it. "She's just a maid," he tells himself, ignoring the pull he feels. Sophie, oblivious, hums a tune, unaware that her birthmark is unraveling Ethan's carefully guarded world. As Sophie bikes home, she thinks about Ethan's unexpected kindness in the kitchen. "He's not all bad," she admits to herself, "but he's still a billionaire jerk." Across town, Ethan sits in his study, staring at a sketch of the birthmark from his investigators. He spent years searching for his savior, driven by gratitude and a need to repay her. Now, with Sophie under his roof, he's torn between doubt and hope. One thing certain, keeping her close as his maid is about to get a lot more complicated. The glittering lights of Manhattan cast a golden glow over the Plaza Hotel, where Ethan Hayes hosts a gala to raise funds for tech education in underserved communities. The ballroom buzzes with New York's elite, their diamonds sparkling as they sip champagne and bid on luxury vacations. Sophie Miller, still Ethan's maid to pay off her $50,000 debt, feels like a fish out of water. She swapped her usual jeans for a simple black dress Ethan provided, but her apron is gone, replaced by a nervous smile. Ethan, in a tailored tuxedo, insisted she attend as his guest, not a servant. "You've been cooped up in my house," he said earlier. "Come see how the other half lives." Sophie agreed, partly curious, partly terrified of embarrassing herself. As she navigates the crowd, balancing a tray of canapés, Sophie overhears whispers about her. "Isn't that Ethan Hayes' maid?" one woman murmurs. "Why's she here?" Sophie's cheeks burn, but she keeps her head high, determined not to let the snobbery get to her. Ethan catches her eye from across the room, where he's charming a group of investors. His green eyes hold hers for a moment, a silent reassurance, before he turns back to his conversation. Sophie's heart flutters and she scolds herself. "Focus, Sophie. He's your boss, not your Prince Charming." The mood shifts when Olivia Bennett sweeps into the gala, her silver gown catching every light. The influencer's million followers hang on her every post, but tonight, her sights are set on Sophie. Olivia's been stewing since the charity auction where Sophie called her out for her past schemes. Fueled by jealousy and pressure to maintain her perfect image, Olivia sees Sophie's presence at Ethan's side as a threat. She corners Sophie near the dessert table, her smile venomous. "Well, look at you," she says loudly, drawing attention. "From scrubbing floors to gala guest, quite the upgrade for a gold digger." Sophie grips her tray, forcing a laugh. "Better than faking tears for likes, Olivia." The crowd gasps, and Olivia's eyes narrow. "You'll pay for that," she snaps, storming off. Sophie's bravado fades as she feels eyes on her. She slips onto a balcony, needing air. The city sparkles below, but her mind replays Olivia's words. "Maybe I don't belong here," she thinks. Ethan finds her, his expression unreadable. "What was that about?" he asks. Sophie shrugs, avoiding his gaze. "Just Olivia being her usual delightful self. Everyone thinks I'm here to scam you." Ethan steps closer, his voice low. "Let them talk. You're with me, and that's all that matters." Sophie looks up, startled by his intensity. For a moment, the world narrows to just them, the city's hum fading. Then Ethan clears his throat, stepping back, Don't let her ruin your night, he says gruffly, and walks away, leaving Sophie's heart racing. The next morning, Sophie wakes to her phone buzzing with notifications. Her stomach drops as she opens Instagram. Olivia has posted a grainy photo of Sophie laughing with Noah Hayes, Ethan's younger brother, at a coffee shop. The caption reads, "Looks like Ethan Hayes' maid is playing the field. Gold digger confirmed?" The post has thousands of likes and comments, with strangers calling Sophie a schemer and worse. Noah, who's been nothing but a friend, texts her in a panic. "Sophie, I'm so sorry. I didn't know we were photographed. What's going on?" Sophie's hands shake. Olivia's gone too far, dragging Noah into this mess. At the mansion, Sophie braces for Ethan's reaction. He's in his study, scrolling through his phone, his jaw tight. "You saw it, didn't you?" Sophie says, her voice small. Ethan looks up, his eyes stormy. "Is there something between you and Noah?" The question stings, and Sophie's temper flares. "Seriously? You think I'm that kind of person? Noah's like a kid brother to me. Olivia's lying and you're falling for it." Ethan stands, his voice sharp. "Then explain the photo. It looks pretty cozy." Sophie's eyes fill with tears, but she refuses to cry. "If you don't trust me, maybe I shouldn't be here," she snaps, turning to leave. Ethan grabs her wrist, his touch gentle despite his frustration. "Wait," he says. "I didn't mean that. I don't know what to believe." Sophie pulls away, her voice steady. "Believe this. I'm not a gold digger, and I'm not playing games. I'll prove it." She spends the day digging through her emails, remembering a message Olivia sent weeks ago taunting her about Ethan. With Liam's help, Sophie hacks into the metadata of Olivia's Instagram post, tracing it to a paparazzi agency. They find an email chain where Olivia paid for the staged photo, instructing the photographer to make it look compromising. Sophie's heart pounds with triumph, but also hurt. Ethan doubted her, and that cuts deep. She confronts Ethan that evening, showing him the evidence on her laptop. "Olivia hired the photographer," she says. "She wanted to ruin me and hurt Noah to get to you." Ethan's face hardens as he reads the emails. "I should have known," he mutters. "Olivia's been after attention since she lost Liam." He looks at Sophie, guilt in his eyes. "I'm sorry I doubted you. I was jealous." Sophie blinks, caught off guard. "Jealous? Of Noah?" Ethan runs a hand through his hair, flustered. "You're always laughing with him. It's easy to think." He trails off, and Sophie's heart skips. She hides a smile. "Well, Mr. Arrogant, maybe don't jump to conclusions next time." Together, they craft a response. Ethan posts a statement on his company's social media, exposing Olivia's scheme and including the email evidence. He praises Sophie's integrity, calling her a valued member of my household who's faced unfair attacks. The post goes viral, and Olivia's followers turn on her, flooding her comments with criticism. Sophie watches the backlash unfold, a mix of relief and unease. "I didn't want to destroy her," she tells Ethan. He shrugs. "She did this to herself. You just fought back." Sophie nods, but the victory feels hollow. She hates drama, and this is far from over. The next week, tension brews at a business meeting with James Sullivan, a slick investor partnering with Hayes Enterprises on a new AI project. The deal is worth billions, and Ethan needs James's funding. Sophie, tasked with serving coffee, overhears James making crude remarks about her to another guest. "That maid's got Ethan wrapped around her finger," James says, leering. "Bet she's more than just a cleaner." Sophie freezes, humiliated, but keeps her composure, setting the coffee down with a forced smile. After the guests leave, James corners her in the hallway, his hand brushing her arm. "You're wasted as a maid," he says. "Ditch Ethan, and I'll show you a good time." Sophie's instincts kick in. She steps back, her voice icy. "Touch me again, and you'll regret it." James laughs, advancing, but Ethan appears, his presence like a storm cloud. "Get away from her," he growls. James smirks, unfazed. "Relax, Hayes. Just having fun." Ethan's fist clenches, but Sophie grabs his arm, whispering, "He's not worth it." Ethan takes a breath, then turns to James, his voice deadly calm. "You've got one chance to apologize, Or I'll make sure every news outlet in New York knows what you just did. James pales, realizing Ethan's power. He mumbles an apology to Sophie, who nods curtly. Fine, but stay away from me. Later, Ethan calls his legal team, instructing them to slash James's profit share in the AI deal from 30% to 10%. He also leaks a discreet tip to a business blog, hinting at James's behavior without naming Sophie. The story spreads, damaging James's reputation. Sophie, learning of Ethan's actions, confronts him in the mansion's garden. You didn't have to go that far, she says. That deal's huge for your company. Ethan looks at her, his eyes intense. No deal is worth letting someone hurt you. Sophie's breath catches. She sees a side of Ethan she hadn't before, a man who'd risk millions to protect her. That night, they sit by the fireplace, sharing a rare, quiet moment. Sophie, sipping tea, asks, Why do you keep walls up, Ethan? You're not as cold as you pretend. Ethan hesitates, then speaks, his voice low. My ex-girlfriend betrayed me, sold company secrets to a rival. I learned to trust no one. Sophie touches his hand, her voice soft. Not everyone's like that. You can trust me. Ethan looks at her, the star-shaped birthmark peeking from her sleeve. He wants to ask about it, to know if she's the girl from Brooklyn, but fear stops him. What if she's not? What if she is? For now, he just nods, the warmth of her touch lingering. As Sophie bikes home, she thinks of Ethan's protectiveness, his vulnerability. He's not just Mr. Arrogant, she admits. There's more to him, and I want to know it all. Across town, Ethan stares at his phone, Olivia's latest post mocking Sophie still online. He clenches his fist, vowing to shield Sophie from further harm, but deep down, he knows it's not just about protection. He's falling for her, and that terrifies him more than any business deal ever could. The Catskills Mountains bloom with autumn colors, their rolling hills a patchwork of red, gold, and orange under a crisp October sky in 2025. Sophie Miller, Ethan Hayes, Noah Hayes, and Liam Parker have escaped New York City for a weekend camping trip, a rare break from the chaos of their lives. Sophie, still Ethan's maid to pay off her $50,000 debt, is thrilled to trade mops for marshmallows. Dressed in a flannel shirt and hiking boots, she bounds through the campsite, her chestnut hair bouncing in a ponytail. Ethan, in a rare casual sweater, watches her with a mix of amusement and something deeper, his green eyes tracking her every move. Noah, ever the cheerful college kid, sets up tents, while Liam, the practical one, organizes the cooler. The air smells of pine and campfire smoke, a perfect backdrop for a weekend that will change everything. Sophie's been on edge since the gala and the Instagram scandal orchestrated by Olivia Bennett. Ethan's protectiveness, especially his stand against James Sullivan, has stirred feelings she can't ignore. He's not just Mr. Arrogant anymore, she thinks, stealing a glance at him as he chops firewood. His walls are coming down, and I'm falling for him. Ethan, meanwhile, is wrestling with his own emotions. The star-shaped birthmark on Sophie's shoulder haunts him, a clue that she might be the girl who saved his life in a Brooklyn car accident 5 years ago. He's kept her close as his maid, hoping for answers, but now it's more than gratitude. He's drawn to her laughter, her courage, her refusal to bow to his wealth. But admitting that scares him more than any boardroom battle. The group spends the day hiking, their banter filling the forest. Noah teases Sophie about her clumsy biking, earning a playful shove. You're one to talk, Mr. Tripped Over a Twig, she retorts. Liam laughs, while Ethan stays quiet, his jaw tightening when Noah slings an arm around Sophie. By evening, they gather around a crackling campfire, roasting marshmallows under a starry sky. Liam strums a guitar, singing off-key, and Sophie joins in, her voice warm and carefree. Ethan watches, his heart aching. She's so alive, he thinks. How did I ever think she was just a maid? As the fire dies down, Noah pulls Sophie aside, his usual grin replaced by a nervous frown. They sit on a log, the others out of earshot. Sophie, I need to tell you something, Noah says, his voice low. I like you, like really like you. Sophie's eyes widen, her stomach twisting. Noah's been a friend, a brotherly presence, but nothing more. Noah, she says gently, you're amazing, but I see you as family. My heart's somewhere else. Noah's face falls, but he nods, forcing a smile. I figured. Just had to try, you know? Sophie hugs him, her voice soft. You'll find someone who's crazy about you. I know it. Before Noah can respond, Ethan's voice cuts through the darkness. Sophie, can we talk? He stands by a trail, his expression unreadable. Sophie hesitates, sensing his tension, but follows him into the forest. The moonlight filters through the trees, casting shadows as they walk. Ethan's silent, his hands in his pockets, until they reach a clearing overlooking a valley. What's wrong? Sophie asks, crossing her arms. You've been weird all day. Ethan turns, his eyes intense. Weird? I'm not the one cozying up with Noah. Sophie's jaw drops. Cozying up? He told me he likes me, and I let him down easy. Why do you care so much? Ethan steps closer, his voice tight. Because I can't stand seeing you with him, or anyone. Sophie's breath catches, her heart pounding. What are you saying, Ethan? He runs a hand through his hair, frustration and vulnerability warring on his face. I'm saying I'm jealous, Sophie. I've tried to fight it, but I can't. You drive me crazy with your stubbornness, your cookies, your laugh. I don't just want you as my maid. I want you in my life, for real. Sophie stares, her mind reeling. Ethan Hayes, the cold CEO, is confessing to her? She steps closer, her voice trembling. You mean that? Or is this another one of your tests? Ethan cups her face, his touch gentle. No tests. I love you, Sophie Miller. Every chaotic, brilliant piece of you. The world seems to stop as Sophie searches his eyes, finding only sincerity. I love you too, she whispers, barely believing her own words. I've been falling for you, even when you're Mr. Arrogant. Ethan laughs, a sound so rare it melts her heart. Then he leans in, and their lips meet in a kiss that feels like coming home. The forest fades, leaving only the warmth of his arms, the softness of his mouth, the promise of something new. When they pull apart, Sophie's grinning, her cheeks flushed. So, does this mean I'm fired as your maid? Ethan smirks. Not a chance. You still owe me 50 grand. She swats his arm, laughing, and they stand together, the valley sparkling below. As they walk back, Ethan stumbles over a root, wincing as he twists his ankle. Sophie kneels, checking it with concern. It's not swollen, but you shouldn't walk on it, she says. Ethan groans, leaning on her. Great. Now I'm the clumsy one. Sophie giggles, helping him hobble back to camp. The mood shifts when Sophie, adjusting her sleeve, reveals her star-shaped birthmark under the moonlight. Ethan freezes, his breath hitching. Sophie, he says slowly, 5 years ago, did you ever save someone from a car accident in Brooklyn? Sophie tilts her head, confused. Yeah, actually, some guy was trapped in a burning car. I pulled him out and ran off. Didn't think it was a big deal. Why? Ethan's eyes widen, years of searching crashing into this moment. It was me, he says, his voice raw. You saved my life. That birthmark, I've been looking for it ever since. Sophie gapes, the pieces clicking. You're kidding, that was you? I was scared and left. I didn't want trouble. Ethan takes her hands, his voice thick with emotion. You risked everything for a stranger. I've spent 5 years trying to find you, to thank you, and now you're here. And I love you for so much more than that night. Sophie's eyes fill with tears, overwhelmed. I didn't know, she whispers, but I'm glad it was you. They return to the campsite, hand in hand, their bond sealed by fate. Noah, sitting by the fire, sees their joined hands and sighs. He approaches Sophie later, his smile bittersweet. So, you and Ethan, huh? Sophie nods, apologetic. I'm sorry, Noah. You're amazing, but my heart's with him. Noah shrugs, his usual charm returning. Can't win 'em all. Just take care of him, okay? He's softer than he looks. Sophie hugs him, grateful. I will. And you'll always be my favorite troublemaker. Noah laughs, masking his hurt, and heads to his tent, vowing to move on. Liam, strumming his guitar, raises an eyebrow at Sophie and Ethan. "About time, you two," he says. "I was getting tired of the pining." Sophie blushes, while Ethan rolls his eyes, but his arm stays around her. As the fire crackles, Sophie leans into Ethan, her heart full. She thinks of the accident that brought them together, first with a car and now with love. It's fate, she realizes, and she's ready for whatever comes next. Back in New York, Olivia scrolls through Instagram, fuming at the lack of traction on her latest post. Her scandal failed and Sophie's still standing. She types a new message, her fingers trembling with rage. "This isn't over, Sophie Miller," she mutters. "I'll make sure you fall." But at the campsite, Sophie and Ethan are oblivious, lost in each other. The stars above mirror the spark in their eyes, a promise of love forged in chaos and sealed by destiny. Central Park glows under a soft April sunset in 2025, its cherry blossoms painting the air pink and white. Sophie Miller walks along a winding path, her heart fluttering with anticipation. Ethan Hayes, her billionaire boss-turned-boyfriend, texted her to meet him here, promising a surprise. 6 months have passed since their confession in the Catskills, and their love has only grown stronger. Sophie, still technically Ethan's maid to pay off her $50,000 debt, spends less time scrubbing floors and more time stealing kisses in his Upper East Side mansion. Her dream of opening a bakery feels closer, fueled by Ethan's encouragement and her own determination. Dressed in a simple sundress, her chestnut hair loose, Sophie hums a tune, unaware of the life-changing moment awaiting her. Ethan stands in a secluded grove, surrounded by twinkling fairy lights strung through the trees. A violinist plays a soft melody, and a small table holds a velvet box. Ethan, in a tailored blazer, is nervous, a rare sight for the CEO of Hayes Enterprises. He's planned this proposal for weeks, wanting it to be perfect. Sophie saved his life 5 years ago in a Brooklyn car accident, marked by her star-shaped birthmark, and now she's saved his heart. He's spent years searching for her, and tonight he'll ask her to be his forever. His green eyes scan the path, and when Sophie appears, her smile radiant, his breath catches. "She's everything," he thinks, "and I'm never letting her go." Sophie spots Ethan and gasps, taking in the lights and music. "What's all this?" she asks, her voice teasing. "Did Mr. Arrogant turn into Mr. Romantic overnight?" Ethan chuckles, taking her hands. "Maybe you've rubbed off on me, disastrous Sophie." He leads her to the center of the grove, his voice softening. 5 years ago, a girl pulled me from a burning car and vanished. I spent years looking for her, for that star-shaped birthmark. Then you crashed into my life, literally, and showed me what love really means." Sophie's eyes shimmer with tears, sensing what's coming. Ethan kneels, opening the velvet box to reveal a diamond ring, its stone cut into a sparkling star. "Sophie Miller, I love you more than words can say. Will you marry me?" Sophie's hands fly to her mouth, tears spilling over. "Yes," she whispers, then louder. "Yes, Ethan, I will." He slides the ring onto her finger, its $1,000,000 glow no match for her smile. Ethan stands, pulling her into a kiss that feels like a promise, the violins swelling as the park fades away. Sophie laughs through her tears, holding up the ring. "A star, really? You're so cheesy." Ethan grins, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Only for you." They dance under the lights, lost in each other, as the city hums beyond the trees. News of the engagement spreads like wildfire. Liam Parker, Sophie's best friend, throws his arms around her when she tells him at Brew Haven. "About time," he says, grinning. "I knew you two were endgame." Noah Hayes, Ethan's younger brother, is equally thrilled, though a pang of his old crush lingers. He hugs Sophie, his smile genuine. "You're going to be the best sister-in-law," he says. "Just don't let Ethan boss you around too much." Sophie laughs, ruffling his hair. "No promises, troublemaker." The city buzzes with gossip, and Sophie's Instagram, once quiet, floods with messages, some sweet, others snarky, hinting at Olivia Bennet's influence. Olivia, meanwhile, is spiraling. Her Instagram empire is crumbling after Ethan exposed her paparazzi scheme. Brands drop her and her followers dwindle, unable to forgive her lies about Sophie. Desperate to reclaim her status, Olivia posts a cryptic story, hinting at a big reveal about Ethan's fiancée, but it backfires, with comments calling her obsessed. Her family, tired of her scandals, cuts her allowance, forcing her to sell her designer bags to cover rent. Olivia stares at her phone, her perfect facade shattered. Sophie Miller won, she thinks bitterly. But I'm not done yet. Yet her influence is gone, and New York moves on without her. 3 months later, the Waldorf Astoria's grand ballroom is a vision of elegance, draped in white roses and gold accents. Sophie and Ethan's wedding day has arrived, a celebration of love born from a car crash and sealed by fate. Sophie walks down the aisle in a flowing gown, her star-shaped birthmark peeking from a sheer sleeve, a nod to their story. Ethan, in a classic tuxedo, can't take his eyes off her, his heart full. Liam, as best man, winks from the altar while Noah, a groomsman, beams with pride. The officiant speaks of love's unexpected paths, and Sophie's vows are heartfelt. Ethan, you saw me when I was just a clumsy barista. You gave me courage, love, and a home. I promise to bake you cookies and fight your arrogance forever. The crowd laughs, and Ethan's vows are equally tender. Sophie, you saved my life, twice, once from a fire, once from myself. I promise to love you through every disaster and every triumph. They exchange rings, and the officiant declares, you may kiss your bride. Ethan dips Sophie into a kiss that draws cheers, her laughter bubbling against his lips. The reception is a whirlwind of dancing, toasts, and joy. Liam raises a glass, joking. To Sophie and Ethan, proof that love can survive a car scratch and a few broken vases. Noah takes the mic, his voice playful. I tried to steal her, but Ethan's got game. Here's to my new sister. Sophie hugs him, whispering, you'll find your match, Noah. The night ends with Sophie and Ethan slow dancing, the world fading to just them. As the guests depart, Sophie and Ethan slip away to the hotel's rooftop, overlooking Manhattan's skyline. The Brooklyn Bridge glows in the distance, a reminder of the night they met. Sophie leans into Ethan, her ring catching the moonlight. Can you believe this all started because I crashed your car? She says. Ethan kisses her forehead. Best accident of my life. I looked for you for 5 years, Sophie. Now I'll keep you for the rest of it. She smiles, her voice soft. You'd better. I'm not going anywhere. They stand together, the city sparkling below, their love a beacon in the night. Across town, Olivia scrolls through photos of the wedding, uninvited and alone. Her latest post, a vague jab at Sophie, gets no likes. She tosses her phone aside, facing a future without the spotlight. New York's gossip mills move on, and Sophie's name becomes synonymous with a fairy tale love story. At the rooftop, Sophie rests her head on Ethan's shoulder, thinking of her bakery dream, now within reach with his support. Their journey, from a scratch to a vow, feels like destiny, and she knows they'll face every challenge together. And so, under the twinkling lights of New York City, Sophie Miller and Ethan Hayes found their forever, a love story born from a clumsy crash and sealed by destiny. Their journey wasn't just about a scratched Rolls-Royce or a maid's apron. It was about two hearts finding each other across years and accidents, proving that even the messiest moments can lead to something beautiful. Sophie, the barista with a dream of her own bakery, showed us courage, standing tall against Olivia Bennet's schemes and the whispers of high society. Ethan, the guarded CEO, learned to open his heart, his search for the girl with the star-shaped birthmark ending in the arms of the woman he loves. Their story reminds us that love doesn't follow a script. It weaves through misunderstandings, laughter, and leaps of faith, like a bike ride through Manhattan's. Liam Parker and Noah Hayes, their loyal friends, added warmth to this tale, their support a testament to the bonds that hold us together. Olivia, with her fading Instagram glow, learned the hard way that envy can't outshine authenticity. From the Catskills campfire to the Waldorf Astoria's grand ballroom, Sophie and Ethan's love grew stronger with every challenge, their wedding a celebration of a bond forged in fire, both literal and figurative. That rooftop moment, with the Brooklyn Bridge glowing in the distance, captured the essence of their promise, a vow to face every tomorrow, hand in hand. It's a story that lingers, like the scent of Sophie's chocolate chip cookies or the echo of Ethan's rare laugh. Love is like an unexpected accident. Sometimes the smallest collisions lead you to your life's destiny. Sophie and Ethan's tale is proof of that, a reminder to embrace the chaos, because it might just be fate in disguise. Their love, sparked by a $50,000 debt and a star-shaped birthmark, shows us that the heart finds its way, no matter the odds. So, dear viewers, what moment in Sophie and Ethan's story made your heart skip a beat? Was it their moonlit kiss in the Catskills, the dazzling proposal in Central Park, or the way they danced under the Manhattan skyline? Share your favorite scene in the comments below. We'd love to hear what moved you most. If this story warmed your heart, give it a thumbs up to spread the love. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss another tale of romance and destiny. Our channel is full of stories that make you laugh, cry, and believe in love's magic, and we can't wait to share them with you. Your support keeps these stories alive, so join our community and let's keep the romance going. Thank you for watching, for feeling every beat of Sophie and Ethan's journey. Until next time, keep your heart open, because love might be just one accident away. See you in the next video.